all this. He's not in the second heaven. It's nothing to do with the planets. It's nothing to do with the stars. He's suddenly in a place what he chooses to call paradise. How that he was caught up into paradise and heard unspeakable words which is not lawful for a man to utter. And you wonder what those words were. So he's out there in this other realm and he hears these words. He doesn't know what he obviously must have. It's unlawful for a man to utter these words. I guess the problem with us, when we utter words, we tend to tarnish them with our own flesh. We're so human. It's so hard for us to speak the words of God exactly as they're spoken or written down here, let alone if you hear a voice, as he appears to have done. It says it heard unspeakable words. He couldn't exactly give those words credit with his own voice. He would tarnish them with his flesh. You might conclude that's what he means. Which is not lawful for a man to utter. Of such an one I will glory, yet of myself I will not glory, but in mine infirmities. For though I would desire to glory, so he's tempted, I shall not be a fool, for I will say the truth. But now I forbear, lest any man should think of me above that which he seeth me to be, or that he heareth of me. He doesn't want to glory in all of this, but he's saying this is what happened, even so. And this is where you get these famous words here, unless I should be exalted above measure for the abundance of the revelations, there is given to me a thorn in the flesh. You think, well, what exactly is a thorn in the flesh? It's something that might constantly annoy you and irritate you. If you've ever had a thorn in your foot, you can't exactly walk along. It's a constant pain to you. It irritates you and annoys you, and you have to get this thorn out. So a thorn in the flesh could be something really that constantly annoys and irritates you, to put it lightly. This is a bit more than just that. So it could be a thorn in the flesh could be the very lusts of your own flesh, that you have a problem with various sins, and you keep battling against these. We all have a problem with pride. So we all have that battle, because at the root of all sin is pride. Of course, Paul acknowledges here that he could so easily get lifted up. And this is largely his point here, this thorn in the flesh. But he's largely not necessarily just that. So something that constantly, it could be you're battling against your own self. Temptations that you have yourself can be a thorn in the flesh. It's a constant irritation to you. Why? Because so often it reminds you you're not perfect. You make so many mistakes and you're prone to sin just like everybody else. They might not be the same sins, but we're all prone to different temptations, and Paul kind of acknowledging this here. One, of course, being pride, that if God gives you these revelations and spirit trips into the spirit world like he had, going up into the third heaven, going beyond this world here, a round world wrapped up in a bubble kind of thing, with these waters of the firmament that went up around this world. God created the sun, moon and stars on the fourth day within the firmament of heaven. And beyond that, you're going into God's territory, so to speak, to the third heaven, into the spirit world. This is where Paul went. So he could so easily get lifted up here in pride. So he says, unless I should be exalted above measure for the abundance of the revelations, there was given to me a thorn in the flesh. Now we all got our thorns in the flesh, things that irritate us and annoy us, that make us realise we're not perfect. And all of us keep making mistakes for the rest of our lives. None of us have attained. And this reminds us of how human we are. And Paul acknowledges here that he can so easily have a problem with pride. So, unless I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelations, there was given to me a thorn in the flesh. Now, the thorn in the flesh here he's talking about is this messenger of Satan. there was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan, to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure. So this thorn in the flesh being a devil, one of the devil's angels, no doubt, pushing him around, making his life a misery, so to speak, trying to bring him down, giving him lots of countless troubles and worries and woes, or tempted to do such things, doubts, fears, discouragements as a result of hard times. For this thing I besought the Lord thrice, kept praying about it, that it might depart from me. And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee. For my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in mine infirmities, in his weaknesses, that the power of Christ may rest upon me. Therefore, I take pleasure in infirmities, weaknesses, in reproaches, in necessities, in persecutions, in distresses, for Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then am I strong. So he's looking on the bright side here, that though these this world were devil's field, as Martin Luther put in that poem, and though this world were devil's field should threaten to undo us, we will not fear, for God hath willed his truth to triumph through us. So he's looking on the bright side here, that all of these troubles